First, we will talk about Renaissance art. Then, we will discuss Middle Ages art and Mies by Duccio. Renaissance art had a more profound influence and impact on art than the Middle Ages art because it introduced perspective, focused on humanism, and produced iconic masterpieces, such as the School of Athens and the Mona Lisa. The School of Athens is a fresco painted in between 1509 and 1511. It was painted by Raffaello, better known as Raphael in English. The painting depicts a multitude of scholars, all sharing their knowledge. In the center is Plato and Aristotle, and surrounding them are many scholars and students. The painting includes many different scholars other than Plato and Aristotle, such as Socrates, Pythagoras, and Ptolemy. In this painting, techniques such as foreshortening, linear, perspective, and realism are used. Just by looking at the painting, you can see how Raphael set Plato and Aristotle in the middle. By using perspective, all of the scholars in the painting also look much like real people, which sets this painting apart from many others. Raphael also incorporated a vanishing point in the painting, which was considered very advanced for the time. In simple terms, a vanishing point is a place in a painting that is so far away from view that it vanishes. The painting also shows humanism, which is a philosophy that focuses on human beliefs and values. The School of Athens shows humanism by including famous philosophers and emphasizes the importance of knowledge. Humans are also literally in the center of the painting. At the time, this was very different, since most paintings from the Middle Ages were about religion. The School of Athens is one of the most iconic paintings to date, and millions of people every year visit the Vatican museums to see it. It is one of Raphael's greatest paintings and is a striking example of most Renaissance art. The Mona Lisa is a Renaissance portrait painted from 1503 to 1519 by artist Leonardo da Vinci. It is one of the most famous paintings in the world and shows a woman named Lisa Gherardini smiling mysteriously at the viewer. In Italian, it is called La Gioconda, translated in English to My Lady. The painting was requested by an Italian businessman who wanted a painting of his wife, Lisa Gherardini. Leonardo started it in 1503 and continued to work on it until his death in 1519. The painting remains unfinished. Leonardo used glazes that included a small amount of actual pigment. The glaze was very thin and needed many layers for it to look dark. The glazes helped to create a smoky effect on the painting. Leonardo also used tiny, light brush strokes that looked almost invisible. He also used a classic pyramid-shaped composition that was newly introduced during the Renaissance. The composition provides stability and directs the viewer to the face of the portrait. At the time, this was a groundbreaking technique. Mona Lisa's pose was also groundbreaking at the time because most paintings were stiff and lifeless. A technique called aerial perspective is also used in this painting, which was invented by Leonardo himself. Aerial perspective is the technique of painting objects more blurred and less detailed as the object goes farther away from the subject. Currently, the Mona Lisa is located in the Louvre in France. It is viewed by thousands each day, and its impacts have changed art forever. Mies by Duccio is an altarpiece painted in between 1308 to 1311. It is a very famous Middle Ages altarpiece currently located in the Siena Cathedral, Italy. The biggest figure in the painting is the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus. She is surrounded by many Christian saints and prophets. In 1308, the city Siena in Italy commissioned their most famous painter, Duccio, to create a large painting dedicated to the Virgin Mary. The title Mies means the Virgin Mary in majesty enthroned as the Queen of Heaven. The full altarpiece also includes many panels surrounding the painting that depict scenes in Mary's life. Just by looking at the painting, you can see the lack of perspective used in the painting. Each person is the same size, which makes the painting look more 2D. Baby Jesus' face is the same size as the Christian prophets and the angels. The painting does not incorporate humanism, which makes sense due to most paintings in the Middle Ages being primarily about religion. You can also see the stylized design of people during that time, which was present in most paintings. Mise by Duccio is a Middle Ages altarpiece, and though it incorporates religious significance, it lacks in using perspective and incorporating humanism. Circling back to my thesis statement, Renaissance art had more of an influence on art compared to the Middle Ages' art due to many reasons. Firstly, most Middle Ages paintings did not include perspective, like the Mise by Duccio, which caused most paintings of that time to lack depth. Renaissance paintings had depth and perspective, and were very advanced for their time. They are also much more widely known compared to the Middle Ages' paintings. Perspective is still used widely today. Renaissance paintings also incorporated humanism, which was uncommon during the Middle Ages. Most paintings in the Middle Ages were painted for a religious reason. To restate, humanism is a philosophical stance where people focus on the individual. Humanism became popularized during the Renaissance and caused more people to become interested in classic literature, as seen in the School of Athens. It also removed the focus on religion. Humanism heavily influenced Renaissance art and literature. Renaissance art also produced famous masterpieces that we talked about today, such as the Mona Lisa and the School of Athens. Art is a beautiful reminder that creativity, beauty, and imagination will forever find ways to flourish. Renaissance paintings has shifted the perspective of art, and its impact has changed lives.